Hi everyone, I'm Dina with Mills Family Gardening. Early spring is a wonderful time for any gardener because this is the time we can plant all seeds and all our seedlings and transplants outside finally. Here in North Texas, Zone 8A, we're mostly done with planting root vegetables. For example, I planted these green radishes and then there's a row of daikon radishes. I planted them a few weeks ago, but there are still regular red radishes and purple radishes that can still go into the ground. Small variety of radishes can be planted every week until May 1st. That way you can have your own vegetables from your own garden all the way up until summer, and then you can also store them in the fridge and they can stay in the fridge for several months. Here in Zone 8, we're mostly done planting greens straight into the ground by seed, but there are still some greens that you can plant until April 1st straight into the ground, and that would be collards, red Malabar spinach, and also mustard greens. With red Malabar spinach, we built this little teepee. My daughters helped me build it. And I'm planning on planting some Malabar spinach seeds. In fact, we grew some Malabar spinach last year, and I can see little seedlings pop up from the ground. But last year, I saved a lot of seed of Malabar spinach, so I'm going to plant them by every pole, and hopefully they'll climb up the pole and it will look pretty. This raised bed is not really good for growing anything in it anymore because it's so close to the maple tree, and the maple tree roots have invaded this raised bed. So the roots of the tree are so thick and strong that really nothing grows here. But I think that collard greens and also mustard greens would be okay growing here. Even if they don't grow to their full potential, that's okay. Next to the small teepee, we built this taller teepee, and also my daughters helped me build it. And I'm planning on growing some beans, specifically southern beans like cowpeas that would tolerate summer heat. And again, I'm going to plant 1 or 2 seeds by every pole, and they will climb up each pole and hopefully it will look pretty. Beans like warmer temperature of the soil, so I'm going to wait till at least the beginning of April. Right now we're at the end of March. The soil is still a little bit chilly, even though we don't have any danger of freeze or frost anymore, but I'll still wait till the beginning of April so that I can plant seeds into the warm soil. Next to the teepees, we have a little trellis that we built last year for cucumbers, and last year was disastrous for growing cucumbers because the summer set in so quickly. It was extremely hot, extremely dry, and all the cucumbers shriveled, did not produce anything. This year I'm going to try to grow Armenian cucumbers. From everything that I read, they tolerate hot and humid weather. I like to plant cucumbers straight into the ground because the root system does not like to be transplanted. They get that transplant shock. And also cucumbers don't mind going into the cool soil, so I don't need to wait till April 1st necessarily. But because of the cucumber beetles that come out about this time, end of March, beginning of April, I think I'll wait longer. So that way cucumber beetles will see that there is nothing to eat in the garden. There's no cucumbers, melons, and hopefully they'll move on somewhere else. Here in North Texas, Zone 8A, this is a perfect time to transplant the tomatoes into the ground. We have about 24 plants here, and my daughters and I transplanted them 2 or 3 days ago. So far they're happy, and thankfully we don't expect any freeze or frost, so this is perfect. We also have about 6 tomato plants that we put in containers. They're pretty large. They're about 5-gallon containers, and I still have several tomato transplants that are still in seedling trays, and I don't have room for them, so I'll probably have to give them away to friends. All through the month of April is a good time to put your pepper and eggplant transplants into the ground, and here we have our metal raised bed. The soil level is a little bit low, but I'm planning on putting a little bit of compost, some manure, and also possibly potting soil or garden soil, and mix it all together before I plant the peppers. I'm going to plant peppers in one half of this raised bed, and then in the other half of it, right now we have cilantro, so I'll have to cut down cilantro and again spread some manure, compost, potting soil, and plant eggplant on the other side of it. Vegetables like corn, squash, melons, and okra can all be planted directly in the ground by seed all throughout the month of April. End of March and beginning of April is perfect time to buy sweet potatoes at the store, preferably preferably organic, and set them in the pantry for a few weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks. That way they'll be ready to grow sprouts, so you can put them either in a paper towel or soil, and they will grow sprouts much faster that way. We have a few sweet potatoes on top of our refrigerator right now that are growing sprouts. Some of them are in a paper towel and the other 2 are in the soil. And so as soon as we harvest these regular potatoes, that will be about beginning of June, we're going to put our sweet potato slips into the soil. That's what we did last year, and we harvested quite a lot of sweet potatoes. End of March is a great time to plant some of your flower seeds directly into the soil right here. My daughters and I the other day prepared this little in-ground bed. We didn't have time to dig up the soil, so we simply put some cardboard, we spread some cow manure, compost, mushroom compost, and some garden soil or potting soil, mixed it all together and planted the seeds on top. So now we're going to water them, and hopefully in 2 weeks they will come up. Some seeds do need to be planted in the fall, but some of them still can be planted at the end of March. Early spring is a great time to take your plants from the garage finally and give them some sunshine. For example, I have this mandevilla that I grew last year. It bloomed beautifully, and I wanted to keep it in the garage through the winter, and it made it. I'm so excited. And if you come closer, you can see that it's actually growing some new little shoots, and I just need to pot it, put it in a larger container, and then find small trellis for it, and hopefully it will do better and bloom beautiful this year. Now is the time to finally plant all our seedlings and transplants that we started inside. We can plant them outside in the ground or in containers. Here I have a seedling tray of variety of different seedlings. Some of them are flowers, some of them are vegetables, like I have thyme and basil, oregano and sage. Some of them, this is celery back here, and you can see that one of the zinnias is actually about to bloom, which is very exciting. My daughters and I already used some of the seedlings that we have here. We made a little pot with celosia seedlings and gazania. I think they're also called African daisies. When you buy seeds online, make sure you buy them from a reputable source, because not all seeds are the same. For example, I bought some gazania seeds on Etsy. I kept them in the moist soil for 2 or 3 weeks, and none of them came up. Then I bought seeds from Walmart, the same variety of seeds by a big brand, and they all came up within 2 or 3 days. All the dates that I'm using in this video will be different depending on where you live. If you live in a colder climate, then add 2 weeks or even a month to your planting date. As a planting guide in my garden, I use AgriLife Extension planting dates for North Texas. Ask around among the fellow gardeners or look online for planting dates that would be more suitable for your climate and where you live. We hope y'all are excited as much as we are about finally planting everything outside. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. Please like and share this video, and we'll see y'all very soon. Bye bye.